Hello ladies and gentlemen, Tevaron here, and welcome back to some more Eternal gameplay. Feeling a little bit under the weather, so if my voice gives out or cracks or whatever, you know what's going on. I do apologize for that. We're going to be playing a very different deck today, even though it is practice, which I'm rather fond of. This was posted by Dablicator on Eternal Warcry. It's called Flaming Hornwalkers, and looks like we're going to have to craft a few cards, so let's do that just right quick. I always hit back. It's up here. I wish back just took us back to this screen, because that's what my mind says it should do. Okay, we're going to have to craft 3 Flame Stokers. Sure. Ooh. Just clicking wrong all over the place. Now let's see what this deck is trying to do. It's sort of a pseudo combo deck, combining Shepherd's Horn, which is a 3-cost relic that gives our cards with Overwhelm 1 less cost, and when we play a card with Overwhelm, we gain 3 life. And then a bunch of cards with Overwhelm. We are running 4 Seek Powers to make sure we hit our power drops on time, 4 Torches for removal, 4 Temple Scribes to draw into our combo pieces, 4 Dawnwalkers because they combo exceptionally well with Shepherd's Horn, as they will trigger it whether you cast it from your hand or from your void, so that is awesome. Of course, the Shepherd's Horns. 4 Ancient Lore to draw more things and make them bigger. 4 Sandstorm Titan, which unfortunately doesn't have Overwhelm, but is just one of the best creatures in Time. It's really hard to play a mid-rangey or aggressive Time deck without Sandstorm Titan. It's also just really good in controlling decks as a defensive unit. 4 Obliterates, because Obliterate is Overwhelm, and Shepherd's Horn does not say unit, it says card. So a 4-cost Obliterate is ridiculous. You cast this for 4, you do 6 damage and gain 3 life. That's kinda silly, so that's what we're about. 4 Shatterglass Mage, as it also triggers the Shepherd's Horn, and Dablicator was saying on the deck tech page there that people love to permafrost Dawnwalker, which I can attest to firsthand, as I've played quite a bit of Dawnwalkers. Shatterglass Mage deals with that, and it's just so much value that he kept going up and up until there were 4 in the deck, so sounds good to me. 4 Worldbearer Behemoth, again, a great Overwhelm unit, one of my favorite units from the Dusk Road. 4 Flame Stoker, so we get a free Overwhelm unit every turn once we play this. So that is consistent 5/5 Overwhelm attacking damage plus consistent life gain. And 4 Heart of the Vault, which is not Overwhelm, but it's so much value. 6 cost, deal 2 damage to an enemy, draw a card, reduce its cost by 2, just so good. The power base is 4 Fire Sigil, 5 Time Sigil, 2 Amber Monuments, 4 Amber Waystone, 4 Crest of Impulse, 4 Praxis Banner, 4 Seat of Impulse. This deck list looks like an absolute riot to play, and I think that we're going to have a really good time with this, so let's do it. Alright. I don't think that we can keep this hand, even with the removal. It's a little too slow. We don't have our second time to cast this. We do have a horn. Let's redraw it. I think we want, from what he said on his page, 3 or more powers in our opening hand, which I guess you can't always get, but worth it to try. Hopefully we will top deck a second time source here. Alright, so this could be a number of decks. Unfortunately this comes into play depleted, but it is the second time source, which is what we asked for. I neglected to ask for undepleted, so that's my fault. You technically got me there, game. Alright, so this looks like Grindedon. Grenadin synergy with scrap tanks and gear crunchers and so on. We'll start with the crest to scry. And do we want another power? I think we do. So we'll top that. Go ahead and Temple Scribe for some potential blocking. The next turn we get to start dropping our big threats, which hopefully 1 or 2 of will live. Yeah, I think we'll block here, even though that's going to entomb and give them a 1/1. I think preventing the 2 damage is beneficial to us to get into the position that we can start grinding the game out. Well, Dark Return makes that less appealing, but we did not know that they had that in hand. So I do think that we play Sandstorm Titan here. Hopefully they don't have a removal spell for him. Alright, more Grenadin drones. They do combust. Alrighty. Well, we may not be able to get established before they kill us. Shepherd Torn helps. So we can play that plus the Dawnwalker this turn. So that seems reasonable. Hopefully we get to trade with something. We can bring it back with World Bearer next turn. As long as it doesn't get silenced somehow. Again, going to try to prevent as much damage as possible here. Alright, Dark Return again. That's getting to be a little annoying. But at least they're not playing out scrap tanks yet. Ooh. That's not quite big enough to trigger the other Dawnwalker. So I think we're definitely on the World Bearer Behemoth plan here. Could have gone... Oh, we don't have enough time yet. I'm a silly. Either way, though, that's fine. Yeah, they recently, well, semi-recently changed Dawnwalker that you need 4 time faction before it will recur itself. So if I'd been paying attention, probably should have played the Temple Scribe there. Which we'd have gotten a crest, so wouldn't have worked out for us. Let's go ahead and Crest of Impulse. Torch. I actually don't think we want a torch. It is removal, but I think we're digging for permanent things.
It's written right here.
Go for that. There's another Dawnwalker. That helps. Let's gain some life. We now have enough time that we can recur our Dawnwalkers. Just need to draw a 5 power unit to do that. And if all else fails, Flamestoker can trigger it on its own. Hopefully they don't have yet another Dark Return. Life gain from this Shepherd's Horn has kept us in this game so far. There's another Shepherd's Horn. So I think we're going to play that. And then gain ourselves 6 life. Could have also played the Flamestoker, but I think the 6 life is much more relevant at the moment. They're down to 1 card. And it's a Devour. Please don't draw a Scrap Tank or a Gear Cruncher. Which they can't cast either at the moment. They don't have enough power. So do we block? No, we're not going to block this time. Come on, big thing. That's not a big thing. We're going to get Flamestoker out. And we're going to pass. We may block this next time. Oh, that's real bad. Hopefully they don't have something to sacrifice it to and put it in their own void. But they do. That is sad. At least we get an Infernus, get our other Dawnwalker back, gain a bunch of life, like 12 life next turn for sure. Yep, that's pretty good. I forgot we had another one in there. Thought we'd only played 2. Well, let's hit for 5, because what else are we going to do? It's going to die at the end of turn. We'll go ahead and thin our deck out a little bit. And we may have just stabilized here with the Flamestoker. Bandit Queen, that's a lot of damage. That is for sure. Got a Brimstone Altar too, okay. So So a little bit more tenuous than it felt like there for a second. Of course, we are gaining 6 life guaranteed a turn, so that seems pretty good. Let's go ahead and do that. Play our Sandstorm Titan and pass. And apparently opponent has had enough. Didn't think we were going to stabilize there, but we got there in the end. Awesome. Alright, this seems good. We've got for sure Temple Scribe on turn 2, then Shepherd's Horn if we get our power. Let's keep this. Alrighty. Just go with the banner and pass. Alright, Crest of Fury. Doesn't really tell us much. That could just be an off-color crest in their deck. See, there's for sure a third, though it's not going to be usable the turn we play it. Praxis Banner will be as long as our Scribe survives. Also worth noting that when this transmutes, the Rheinarch has Overwhelm, so synergizes with our Horn. That's a little sad there. So in that case, I think we're going to go with the Monument and just pass back, as the Monument's going to be depleted no matter what we do unless we keep it until it transmutes. Okay, so probably we're up against Feln here, and the crest was just a splash. For the Scout, I think we're going to go with Dawnwalker here, even though it's not going to gain us a life yet. I think getting it into play is very important. Hopefully it doesn't get silenced somehow by the opponent. And we do have our 4 time influence to let it recur, which is awesome. Shatterglass Mage on top. Sadly, we weren't able to play it that turn and get the card advantage provided by Warp. Alright, probably going to get rid of our Shepherd's Horn. That's a little sad. No, they went for Ancient Lore. Okay. Go to our turn. Let's attack. And we're going to play out Shepherd's Horn. Get that established. Just trying to get to the mid to late game when our setup starts generating just tons and tons of value and outgrinding our opponent. There's a Permafrost that we talked about during the deck tech. Shatterglass Mage says, go away to that. Go ahead and get rid of that. Continue to hit our opponent in the face with a Dawnwalker. Or try to. Could have removal for it. Once we start chaining these huge threats, Feln has a hard time dealing with multiple, just massive bodies on the field. They don't have a lot of really good mass removal for things with toughness that's more than 3. Yep, that's fine. Start turn. Let's play our crest. Don't think we want another one. We'll start by attacking. Or letting that through. Then we'll play out a Titan, recur our Dawnwalker, gain some life. Feels pretty good. Alright, killing our Dawnwalker again. It's just going to come right back until they silence it. Alright, bye-bye Sandstorm Titan. Luckily we have your sibling in hand. No blocks. Ooh, Rheinarch is a bit better in that it will trigger the life gain, but Sandstorm Titan stops this from attacking. Let's go ahead and attack first. Alright, Lightning Strike. Haven't seen much of Lightning Strike lately, but that's fine. Yeah, let's go with the Titan. And pass back over. Yep. Would love to draw an Obliterate at some point. Heart of the Vault. Any of our huge, just scary threats. Alright, bye-bye, Titan. So, we're not really making headway with damage versus the opponent while that Black Sky Harbinger's out, but luckily we drew Obliterate. Let's attack, see if they have removal for this. They don't. Then we can Obliterate. Get rid of that thing and pass the turn. Azendel's Gift, sure. Let's empty our hand then. Of course, we could just draw another Shatterglass Mage and get rid of it, but it's not going to be too much of a problem to just flood the board with massively huge threats. Alright, strategize away, opponent. Yep, drawing all the cards, looking for answers. We are one off killing them with the board as it sits, and we don't even need to. Awesome. Yeah, we cannot keep this. That looks a bit better. It's a little slow, so if we're up against hyper aggro, we may not be able to get to the point that we can stabilize quite in time. Nothing much we can do about it. We've already mulliganed, so this is what we're stuck with. Looks like we may be up against Feln again, though. So let's go Seat into Seek for a fire. Yep, opponent is just as slow as us, so that's good. Gives us time to set up. Alright, Torch, not exactly the card we were looking for against Feln, but we'll take it, I suppose. Alright, Seek Power, what I would like to draw this next turn is a Shepherd's Horn to start getting our board state established for the late game. So we know we will draw into another Shatterglass Mage. I still think it's absolutely the best play, so we'll do that. Really love the warp mechanic. Just additional card advantage, also lets you plan better for future turns when you know what's coming up. Wish it was a mechanic they could figure out how to implement satisfactorily in paper card games, but I don't think that there's a really a good way to implement that. Amber Monument. We are not going to be playing that one, I don't think. Let's attack. Then I think we will play out a Titan. Next turn, we can transmute and play Amber Monument. Right, opponent generates an Aegis. Jotun Feast Caller, huh? That's potentially a little scary. We definitely want to attack. Yeah, Sandstorm Titan can also play defense, as long as they don't have a removal spell. Let's play the Fire Sigil, as there is still a chance that we can get another time and trigger the life gain on this. Then I think we're going to go for Reinarch. Alright, there is removal. We do still have a Reinarch, though, to block. Except they have a Permafrost. Well, we can't block this turn, but Shatterglass Mage makes people who play Permafrost quite unhappy. Yeah, no blocks. We'd like to get some damage in return. So, can't really justify holding on to that anymore. Let's go ahead and shatter that. Then we'll swing for 6. Seems okay. Got our opponent down to 13. Got a potential blocker here that they can't annihilate, at least. Alright, so the question is, do we take this or do we block? Because we're just 2 points off of killing them, but they have a handful of cards. Let's trade. Unfortunately, haven't got any of our card advantage engines really going yet. And if we don't establish them, there's a good chance that Feln can just outgrind us. With the amount of, especially with the amount of card that our opponent has drawn in this game. Right, Vara's Favor. Sure. Okay, feeding time. Very happy that that's not targeting a Dawnwalker. Go ahead and go to our turn. There's a Sandstorm Titan, but we got Heart of the Vault on top, so that's definitely our play. Flamestoker, that should be very, very good versus Feln too. Alright, re-establishing their Aegis there. Let's crest, see what's on top. Yeah, I want a second Flamestoker really badly. We'll go ahead and attack, see if they're willing to block. Nope, got a Death Strike, that's fine. Actually, I am silly. I should have scryed that to the bottom because they can activate this next turn and steal it from us, which is bad. Still, we've made the mistake. There's nothing else we can do about it. And we do have a Shatterglass Mage to answer it. So I guess it's not too awfully bad. We just need to make sure and pop this Aegis. An honorable fight. Is the Flamestoker enough to get you to concede? Yes, no, maybe. Yep, no blocks. Strategize. Okay, so we're not getting our Flamestoker stolen, which means it's probably just game over. There's a Champion of Cunning, sure. Do we pop that Aegis? Yeah, let's go ahead and pop that Aegis. Just in case we get an Obliterate at some point. Let's attack. And play another one. So there is potential that if they have removal for our Infernuses, that they can just attack us over 2 turns and kill us with the champion out there buffing their Feln Bloodcaster. But if they don't have that, then they can't really afford to swing here. But it looks like they may. Right, Black Sky Harbinger definitely helps. So Crest, there's a Shatterglass Mage. 5. I don't really think we want that Shatterglass Mage. Let's crest and see what's under it. Or, you know, if there's a warp thing, we can see what's under it. There isn't. Let's go ahead and attack. They have to block. They'll gain 6. Then we pretty much have to Sandstorm Titan here. And hope they don't have removal for it. Otherwise, they have outlasted us, and we are going to lose. I do think I made a few mistakes this game also, but not being able to establish our Shepherd's Horn or get Dawnwalkers online at all has really hurt us as well. Alright, so we have to block this thing. Luckily, it looks like they didn't have removal, so there's still a chance. Another champion. That's really bad. So that's not really going to do it for us. We can attack and see if they're willing to block, which I doubt they are. We're one short of killing them. We can... Ancient Lore? See, because this is lethal no matter what. Let's seek power. Because it's going to give us the same amount of power no matter what. Let's Ancient Lore. We need a Sandstorm Titan. And we didn't get it. So, good game, opponent. Oh well, we couldn't expect to just keep rolling people forever. I think this is okay. We're on the draw, so we have a chance, or a better chance to draw into our power drop, so we'll keep this. It's also a decent hand versus aggro, but it looks like our opponent's maybe not on aggro. Crest is always going to be depleted, so we'll lead off with that. We don't want a third torch. No, thank you. Alright, Feln again. Feln is quite popular this morning, it seems. Oh, another cleric. Or scribe, rather. It's a cleric. Creature type at the bottom there. Okay. So, let's banner. Then attack. Then... I think we just do Shepherd's Horn. As much as I would like to play these two, I think getting the Shepherd's Horn online before they can cast something and strip it from our hands is very important. Rain of Frogs, okay. What is your poison? Sandstorm Titan, okay. Not super happy about it, but nothing much we can do to stop it. Glad we got our Shepherd's Horn out before they cast a Rain of Frogs, though, judging by the way opponents have acted so far versus what's in our hand, they don't seem to think Shepherd's Horn's that big a threat, so... Seat, yeah, we'll play our frog out. If we get wiped, then that's fine. We're just losing 3 1-1s. If we're depending on them to win the game, we're probably just going to be losing anyway. Alright, let's go for the seat. We'll attack with everything. And then I think we're just going to Ancient Lore this turn. Ooh, Reinarch, that's cool. Ooh, Destiny Frog. Heart of the Vault on top. This is pretty good. Feels quite okay. Okay, that's fine. Don't really care about losing all those small critters. And I think we absolutely go with Heart of the Vault this turn. Go ahead and pop that Aegis. Ooh, really, really cheap World Bearer Behemoth. That's awesome. Hello, Permafrost. Opponent's going to be really, really sad if we draw a Shatterglass Mage, but I think this turn, as much as I would like to get Flamestoker online, I think we've got to cast these ginormous threats. Alright. Bye-bye to World Bearer. Yep, pass back. Just holding on to these torches in case they play something that we can kill with 2 of them. May come to the point that we're just going to burn them on our opponent's face. Well, that's not a Shatterglass Mage. And at this point, I think getting Flamestoker online is more important than getting Dawnwalker into play, so let's do that. And that is enough for the opponent. Relics in general are just a really hard thing for Feln to deal with. Alright, let's have an opponent that's not on Feln this time. This seems like a great hand. We've got potential turn 3 Shepherd's Horn. Yep, don't think we would ever mulligan that, unless we knew the opponent was on something specific that this isn't good against. Alright, looks like they are either Skycrag aggro or Yetis. If we can get our life gain going early enough, we should have a good chance versus them. Alright, we're going to torch that. Just mitigate as much damage as possible, trying to get into the mid-game. Praxis Banner. Well, there's no guarantee we'll have a 4-drop to play next turn, so let's go for our Shepherd's Horn. Well, I mean, you know, with the Shepherd's Horn we'll have a 4-drop to play, but you know what I mean. Alright, that is a little disheartening, but at least they didn't play anything. Looks like they're stuck on 2 power. Let's go for the banner and pass. Next turn we get to start dropping monstrously huge threats and gaining life, which should be pretty good in this matchup. Shatterglass Mage. Yeah, I think we want to play that, even though there's not anything to kill. That's basically like drawing an extra card. And then let's gain a little bit more life. Alright, bye-bye Shatterglass Mage, that's fine. That basically gained us 6 life there, because it ate a torch that would otherwise probably have gone to our face. Alright, I think that World Bearer is better than Flamestoker. I could have played the Fire Sigil to make Flamestoker playable that turn. Yep, they have a Permafrost. That's a little sad. But we're gaining enough life, I think we can probably stick in this game. Ooh, Shepherd's Horn. Alright, that is for sure our play. Let's gain 6, play a 6-7. Hopefully it doesn't get permafrosted, or if it does, maybe we'll draw some more of our Shatterglass Mages. Alright. Getting exhausted here. Flamestoker may be enough to seal this game up, but they're getting a ton of Warcry going as is, so that may be an issue. The question is, can we afford to start attacking here? And I don't think that we can. Let's play our Flamestoker. Go ahead and play this. Just pass back. Alright, another Cinder Yeti, so we're taking another big bunch of damage. If we had known they had another Cinder Yeti, we would have attacked, but we didn't, so very precarious. We could be dead. Torch? We are. Okay. Not quite fast enough to get established there. I think we were really close to being on the cusp of stabilizing and taking over that game, but didn't quite make it. Alright, no fire in this, but we've got for sure Temple Scribe into Shepherd's Horn and even potentially into Ancient Lore, so I do think we keep this. Flamestoker's a turn 6 play at best. So we've definitely got time to draw into fire for that. Okay, cool. Stone Scar this time. At least we're playing not Feln over the last couple of matches. At least I hope so. This could still be Feln with just the splash for the Scout. See what we can draw. Alright, Sandstorm Titan's fine. We need some fire at some point, though. Okay, so perhaps Armory? There's some fire. Alright. Praxis Banner into Shepherd's Horn. Let's do a point of damage. Unfortunately, we're drawing Heart of the Vault next turn, which we don't have the fire to cast, and we still don't have enough fire for Obliterate either. We may spend next turn, depending on what our opponent does, just Ancient Loring and trying to draw into more appropriate faction. Alright, so almost certainly Armory with Sword of Icaria there. And as much as I would like to deal with that sword, we're not really in a position to do so. Even if we played this, they could just have a Vanquish. So, yeah. We're not under tremendous pressure as of yet. That was really bad. At least we got them off the top of our deck. Torch will let us potentially deal with this sword. Okay, Recano Artisan. Just more confirmation that we're up against Armory. Okay, so that's It's like really, really unfortunate. I think we're going to pass. Are we though? I think normally I would pass and try to torch this when they attack so that they couldn't just play another weapon and get it going. But there's a chance that they could play an undepleted sigil and then Throne Warden, which would give them enough armor that we'd have to use 2 torches to get rid of that sword. So I think we're going to do that. If we'd had a second fire already, we could have just obliterated and got rid of both of these. Yep, no blocks. Come on, undepleted fire. That's not what that is. Let's draw. Yep. This is not going very well for us. Wanted poster, we could kill that in response. Don't think we care to. Okay, another artisan. Yeah, we'll let you draw 2 cards. Unfortunate, but I think it's the right move. And I also think we should get rid of that thing. They have something fast, probably a torch of their own. Alrighty, let's draw some powers, please. Okay, awesome. Still need a 3rd fire, but at least now we can start playing our obliterates. And gaining life since they're overwhelmed. They combo well with Shepherd's Horn. Yep, very glad we drew that. Otherwise that Star Steel die show would kill us in very, very short order. I think we're going to go with the crest. Although, if they have another die show, then we'll just die if we don't play the Amber Waystone, so let's do that. Then get rid of that. And end the turn. Alright. Again, not thrilled about it, but not a lot I can do to stop it. Shepherd's Horn. I would love to play Heart of the Vault. I just don't think it's a very good move. Again, they can just remove it and then hit us in the face. What I think is our play here is we're going to play Crest. And I think we are going to keep... No, actually, we want to draw some more overwhelmed units like a Dawnwalker. So let's bottom that. We've got 1 in hand. Then we can Shepherd's Horn plus Obliterate again. Gain 6 life this time. Just kind of struggling to stabilize now. It's been really hard on us to be without our appropriate fire faction for so long this game. Alright, Runehammer. Luckily, we do have a decent answer to that in Heart of the Vault. Shatterglass Mage, though, seems better. So we're going to do that. Gain some life. And these armory decks do tend to play Harsh Rule, which they're going to torch. So now the question is it Sandstorm Titan or Temple Scribe? I think we're going to go with Titan. Make them have an answer to it. Okay, a Harsh Rule on a single Sandstorm Titan feels pretty good from our side of the board. Seek Power. Let's Seek Power. Go ahead and grab a Fire Sigil. Don't really need anything else. And I think we need to establish Flamestoker now, start gaining 6 life a turn. If we can survive this turn and get Flamestoker active, we have a pretty good chance. Of course, Icaria from the opponent at this point would probably be really bad for us. Well, there's a Throne Warden. It's not big enough to profitably block our Infernuses, So that's at least good. Let's attack. Alright, and starting to feel okay. We'll start with a Seek Power. Then we will Heart of the Vault. And another one on top. That's decent. Let's go ahead and draw that. And pass back. Feels like we may have stabilized. Statuary Maiden is problematic. Don't think we care about it a terribly huge amount. Let's attack with everything. Don't really care if they block here, as we'll deal 11 damage in that case. Okay. Then we'll gain some life. Don't really want to run a Dawnwalker out when this thing's there. Heart of the Vault, on the other hand, is an entirely different story. World Bearer, Shatterglass Mage. Yeah, we're going to play this. If they have a Harsh Rule, that's fine. We're going to hedge with these cards in hand. They kind of need a Harsh Rule or some other damage mitigation this turn, or they're going to die. There's the Harsh Rule. Okay. It uses basically their whole turn. We've got for sure an Infernus coming. Yep, that's a lot of cudgels, but cudgels aren't really what the opponent needs right now. Sandstorm Titan, sure. Go ahead and attack. Then we're just going to flood the board, I think. And gain an absolute ton of life. We're going to keep these Titans in hand, as we've got way more than lethal from between our Flamestoker and these anyway. More Harsh Rules could definitely be forthcoming. Alright, Runehammer. Okay. Okay. Wonder if opponent misclicked there and meant to slay the Behemoth and then Runehammer the Dawnwalker. And I think we mulligan this. It's just a whole lot of do nothing. That's a bit better. We've at least got a second turn Temple Scribe. And I think we want that Shatterglass Mage to go to the bottom, so let's do that. We want to draw some more powers. Are we up against Feln again? What has made Feln so popular today, I wonder? Alright, Behemoth. Would have loved to have drawn a power there. I mean, we do have Seek Power, but it requires us to cast it. Ooh, maybe not exactly Feln. Maybe 3-color control here. Well, we for sure have to do this. And we want our third Time Sigil, because we're closer to casting World Bearer Behemoth than our 6-drops. An undepleted power of any sort would allow us to Ancient Lore this turn. Right, well that's not undepleted, but we'll take it. And hopefully we're not giving our opponent too long to set up here. Yeah, we want to draw some cards. Sure, you draw some cards too. Fair's fair. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Alright, do that. I think we go with World Bearer Behemoth. Probably it's just going to die, but we gotta make the effort. If we can get to attack with it even once, then it's super good value, but Death Strike says no to that. That's fine. Hopefully we can resolve Flamestoker next turn. We need an undepleted power to do that. So this looks like it may be an iteration of the total control deck that we played previously. So our question is here, do we want to go with a big Sandstorm Titan? We can play Shatterglass Mage to pop that Aegis. We can't actually kill the Duelist Blade with it. I think Shatterglass Mage is better. So let's do that. And that, if they don't gain another Aegis, will assure that this next Shatterglass Mage can kill it. But they did. Hellstorm, sure. Alright, that is great. And now I think we go with Heart of the Vault. Force them to have some more removal while continuing to clear their Aegis. Argument could be made that it would have been better to establish our Flamestoker there, but I'm not really sure. Flamestoker over the long game is definitely better. Alright, so they're digging. Apparently they don't have good removal in hand, or they just want to see what their options are before they play whatever removal they have. Alright, Slay. Thought it was going to be odd if they didn't have a removal spell there. So... Ooh, another Heart of the Vault. So tempting. And yeah, I think it definitely is the right play this turn, as Torch will allow us to finish off that Blade. Another Sigil, sure. Let's kill that, just in case they have a way to gain an Aegis next turn through a Cobalt Waystone. Can't really respond to that. Alright, channel the Tempest. Alright, now we have to start getting our Flamestokers online. Otherwise, our Rain of Frogs is just going to be horrible for us. Which opponent may not actually be playing. But decks of this type normally do play some number of them. Could also just lose here into Channel the Tempest into Channel the Tempest. Almost certainly they're going to take our other Flamestoker. Yep. Luckily, we have another good answer for that. Well, attack. Then we could channel, or not channel, but overwhelm, obliterate to kill that Aegis. That seems like a waste. Let's go with a Shatterglass Mage and a big Sandstorm Titan. And I do expect us to get Harsh Ruled here. But at least that's making them spend spells from their hand to stay alive, while our Flamestoker just slowly ticks away at their life total. Or, you know, not so slowly, as the case may be, as it's 5 a turn. What we want really desperately at this point is a Shepherd's Horn, because our life total is getting very, very low. Then I think we go with Sandstorm Titan, and again pass. A Heart of the Vault or a Torch to pop that Aegis so that we can profitably do these obliterates would also be good. Alright, Death Strike at slow speed. And Extract. We are getting to the point that a single channel is going to kill us. Or very nearly. There's a Torch. So let's attack. And we're just going to fire these off, as most of these decks of this configuration run no units whatsoever. So trying to deal a ton of damage right now feels like the correct choice. We'll need an additional 3 damage next turn to finish the job, which is not entirely unheard of. Dawnwalker is quite good, though it's very, very touch and go at this point. I think if we had gotten a Shepherd's Horn at any point prior to this, then it would be a given that we'd have just run away with this game. Our life total would be pretty much insurmountable. I think we're just going to pass. We'll hold this for a bluff. It all comes down to this turn. Sword of the Sky King. Alrighty. Well, we are dead, unfortunately. Yeah, Flamestoker does not stop that. Good game, opponent. We almost got there. Alright, so that was a lot of fun. So what did we learn during our games today? Thing number 1 is Shepherd's Horn is integral to the deck actually being able to win. Gaining that extra life is super key to us being able to get to the mid to late game where we can start grinding the opponent out. So definitely Shepherd's Horn, most important card in the deck. And I don't know that I would really change anything about the deck at this point. It seems perfectly fine to me. It's just you need to draw the specific pieces you need quickly enough to allow you to get into your late game plan. As always, I will have a link to the deck list in the description below if you'd like to check that out for yourself. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, let me know in the comments and by leaving a like below. It really does help tremendously. And of course, subscribe if you'd like to see more in the future. I have been Tevaron, and until next time, friends, be excellent to each other.